Good afternoon, and we are live from the campus of Father Ryan High School as your Irish are taking on the Tigers of Ensworth here this afternoon. Should be an exciting baseball game here tonight as the Irish look to sweep the Tigers in this three-game series. They'll have one more game next Thursday against Goodpasture, which is senior night for Father Ryan, and travel to Macaulay, where they'll have 3 games to close out their season and then look toward the region tournament. Let's run down the lineups here. First, for the visiting Tigers of Ensworth, head coach Jason Maxwell. We'll have Rolf, Schultz, and Goodwin. Nicholas Rolf, wearing number 21, playing center field. We'll have Schultz, wearing number 3 and pitching for the Tigers. And Goodwin, wearing number 12 and being the designated hitter tonight. Lampley, Groninger, and Hopkins, followed by Allen, Maxwell, and Christensen for the Tigers. Keegan Fogg on the mound here for the Irish, wearing number 11, a junior, and his first pitch is a called strike, and we're underway from Father Ryan. We've seen Fogg a few times this season. A hard thrower, as that one's popped in the air out behind second base. Under that is Towns, and it's the first out of the inning. A look around the defense here for Father Ryan this afternoon. Pitching, as we mentioned, Keegan Fogg. Behind the plate, we have John O'Dwyer. First to third, we have Matt Faulkner, Luis Malave, Cameron Towns, and Palmer Hill. Outfield left to right is Kirby Simpson, Andrew O'Dwyer, and Sage Warren. That one's popped almost the same spot by Schultz, and Towns retires that one for the second out of the inning. So just 3 pitches, and Fogg already has 2 outs in the top of the first. Up now is Goodwin, a right-handed batter against the right-handed Fogg. First pitch is a fastball in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Fogg, a quick worker. He's set and ready. Ball popped foul over first baseman Faulkner, and that'll go out of play to the foul side of the first base bag. 0-2 here on Goodwin. And Fogg will look to make, 0-1. And that's a strikeout for Fogg. And that'll be all for the Tigers as Fogg makes quick work of Ensworth in the first inning. We'll be back for the bottom half of the inning. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. And welcome back to the Jim Carroll Alumni Athletic Fields. This is Juan Jose Rodriguez alongside Donley Wolf bringing you Irish baseball here against the Ensworth Tigers. Let's run down the lineup for head coach Mike Mascari and the Irish. We'll have Faulkner, Warren, and O'Dwyer. Matt Faulkner playing first base and batting leadoff. Sage Warren playing right field and batting second. And John O'Dwyer batting third and playing catcher tonight. Then we'll have Ramsey, Simpson, and Hill. Trey Ramsey batting fourth and the designated hitter. Kirby Simpson, the left fielder, batting 5th, and Palmer Hill batting 6th and playing third base. Then we'll have Towns, O'Dwyer, and Malave. Cameron Towns batting 7th and playing shortstop. Andrew O'Dwyer batting 8th and playing center field. And Luis Malave playing second base and batting 9th.
And some big news earlier this morning, Juan, speaking with both John and Andrew O'Dwyer. They came to me right before break and said that they have verbally committed to Coppin State. It's a university in Baltimore, Maryland. So we wish them the best of luck and a huge start of this Friday afternoon filled with baseball. Earlier this morning, we had 2 other swimmers commit. One being Will Noiser. He committed to the University of California, Santa Cruz. They're the Golden
Banana
Slugs. I'm thinking of the Golden Eagles. The Banana Slugs. That's Division III team. The other one is another senior captain on the swim team, Cody Oliphant, and he has decided to attend the Naval Academy. Chosen to defend our country. So we're real proud of him and all of his accomplishments. And just
So
what a great.
We'll have one swimmer on the East Coast and one on the West Coast.
What a great day to start this Friday.
As you saw, Faulkner grounded out to the second base to open up the hitting for the Irish. And up now we'll have Warren batting second. Warren, a sophomore, playing right field this afternoon. As that one's grounded right at second base. Good stop there. And he's out on a close play for the second out of this inning. So now we'll have one of the 2 O'Dwyer brothers. We'll have John, who is catching tonight. As Donley mentioned, Coppin State, a university up in Baltimore. And we're glad that both brothers will be able to attend university together, which was something they had wanted from the beginning. As O'Dwyer watches strike 1 on the inside corner.
And we had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Fogue, Keegan Fogue's father, and he said he's going to really miss not only having the O'Dwyers playing ball on the field, but also their atmosphere, the atmosphere they bring in the dugout. He said anytime they're around, dugout atmosphere is just ramped up 10 times.
Yeah, gotta love the energy that those boys bring to the field every day, and as a senior leadership, they've really been a key part of the development of this program as a whole. O'Dwyer looks in for the 2-1 pitch. Lines one past the shortstop. That's Groninger. And that's the first hit of the ball game for the Irish. And that goes into left field. And O'Dwyer stands on first base now with 2 outs. And Ramsey coming up.
Pinch runner here for O'Dwyer.
As Coach Mascari explained, the pitchers and catchers are allowed to be replaced by a courtesy runner. And the pitcher and catcher may re-enter into the game, even though they are pinch run for. So as he explained, it's not exactly a pinch runner as you'd see in the major leagues. Because in the major leagues, when you're pinch run for, you have to be removed from the game. But pitchers and catchers can be courtesy run for, and thus can stay in the game. So that strategy being utilized early and often here by Coach Mascari. As Ramsey takes low and outside for ball 1 to even up the count at 1 apiece. That one's lined foul behind us.
So that's 2 in a row.
Had to look up and make sure those shots are not coming down on us. So 1 and 2 here on Ramsey. The left-handed hitter looks in. Pickoff attempt, and O'Dwyer's back diving.
It's Brennan Jordan. Not Brennan Jordan.
Brennan Granger. Excuse me.
Brennan Jordan, also one of the baseball players.
At Columbia State right now. Grounded to shortstop, and it's through his legs. Misjudged the bounce there.
Through Preston Johnson's legs.
So Johnson playing shortstop, not in the lineup for the Tigers.
That name sounds familiar. Preston Johnson.
Believe he was a search leader.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Search, the retreat that many juniors and seniors attend and lead, often held at Camp Marymount, and a great experience that both you and I have had the chance to lead, and really been just a really great opportunity to expand into our own faith.
I believe he's also a parishioner at St. Henry.
You'd think I would know, being a parishioner over there, but hey. Grounded past Schultz. And that is on a close play. Simpson is out at first base. So Dwyer and Ramsey are stranded on the base paths, and Schultz is able to escape the jam, and the Irish are held scoreless at the bottom of the first. We'll head to the Tigers half of the second. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. And we're back with the top of the second here from Father Ryan. Keegan Fogg on the mound for the Irish. And we'll have Lampley wearing number 6 and playing right field for the Tigers. And he watches that one as a called strike. Fogg has thrown 7 pitches thus far, and all 7 were strikes. So he's off to a good rhythm here. And as I say that, he throws his first ball. 1-1 count here on Lampley. As the righty-righty matchup here. And that one's low and inside, 2-1 count.
Overcast skies here at Father Ryan. Just checked the forecast. There's a 30% chance of rain around 6 o'clock tonight.
And that one's laced into right field. That'll be a base hit for Lampley. So leadoff man aboard here for the Tigers in the top half of the second, and we'll have Groninger, the left fielder, up to bat here with no out in the top of the second. Groninger followed by Colin Hopkins. Hopkins, a junior here for the Ensworth, the son of former Tennessee Titan lineman Brad Hopkins. His older brother Bryson is a senior football player at Ensworth, graduating this year with us, and he will be headed to Purdue University to continue his football career as a tight end for the Boilermakers. So congrats to Bryson on that achievement. But right now we have Groninger here in the box as he chases that one. And the 0-2 count as Fogg will look to get back to his quick ways and try to retire Groninger here. Quick pickoff attempt. Lampley dives back safely. Fogg works from the stretch. Ground ball to Towns. Could be 2. Flipped over to Malave. Gets the out at second. The force out. But Groninger beats the throw to first. So he reaches on a fielder's choice. That fielder's choice goes 6-4-3. With Lampley being retired at second and Groninger reaching first. Next up, we'll have Hopkins. Colin Hopkins, the catcher this afternoon. Fogg stretches and delivers. That one's low, and Groninger steals second on the misplay by O'Dwyer, as he wasn't able to locate it initially, and that's all the jump that Groninger needed.
I don't know if it was a misplay. I think the ball just got stuck right on the underneath the bottom of his mitt.
So 0-1 count on Hopkins. As Fogg looks back to second, now throws. Low ball 1, and the count's even. Fogg looks in for the sign. He's ready. Looks back to Groninger at second. Kicks and fires. And that's low. 2-1 count here. Hopkins will be followed by Harrison Allen playing first base for the Tigers. Pitch by Fogue. Charged by Andrew Dwyer. He gets it back in quickly. So each runner only moves up a base. And now with first and third, we'll have Allen, as he'll try to bring in the first run of the game for Ensworth. So Hopkins reaches on that single to center field, and he sits on first, while Groninger sits across the field at third, only 90 feet away. Ball lifted foul there on the first pitch to Allen. That was off to our right. So 0-1 count here on Allen, as he stands here with an RBI chance early in the second inning. Fogue looks in, operating from the stretch. Allen bunts. Runner charges from third. And the throw to first is offline. Groninger scores. Fogue misplayed the ball initially, allowing Groninger to score. Fogue attempted to throw out Allen at first, but the throw was high and Faulkner could not control it. So Ensworth scores the first run of the game on that fielder's choice by Allen. And it's 1-0 Ensworth in the top of the second. Next up, we'll have Maxwell playing third base, as he calls time and he steps out and is quickly back in. Fouled off behind us. So Hopkins stands at second and Allen at first, with Maxwell at the plate, looking to continue the rally for Ensworth. Low and inside, ball one to Maxwell. Maxwell wearing the 13 for the Ensworth. Ensworth in the orange shirts and gray pants. Father Ryan in the purple shirts, white pants, with white lettering and red numbers, and purple hats with white lettering. Fouled off again to our right. So 1-2 count on Maxwell with the one out. Fogue will try to limit the damage here and hope for a ground ball that the infield could potentially turn for a double play. Ball lifted high out to right field. Under that is Warren. He gets it quickly into Malavey at second to hold the runners.
FatherRyan.org. RYAN.
Up now is Christensen. 2 outs. Hopkins on second, Allen on first. Strike one here. Christensen. Throw behind the runner at second, and he's back safely after the swing and a miss from Christensen. And it's quickly 0-2 here. Fogue will try to retire Christensen here and get out of this inning, allowing just the one run. Swing and a miss by Christensen, and that's all for him. So Ensworth is retired. However, they get the first run of the game here, and it's 1-0 the Tigers lead We'll be back with the bottom of the second on the Behind the Crest Sports Network. Welcome back to Irish Baseball on Behind the Crest Network. We'll have Palmer Hill leading off the bottom of the second. And he's first ball hitting. Lines went out to right field. That's a fair ball. Hill rounds first, going to second. And he slides in safely ahead of the throw. So a leadoff double for Palmer Hill as he leads off the inning, getting on base for 24, Cameron Towns. Towns is shortstop, a three-sport athlete for Father Ryan, quarterback of the football team, small forward shooting guard for basketball and Coach Bontrager, and now the starting shortstop for Coach Mike Mascari.
And also a future Butler Bulldog.
Signed to Butler University. Signed to Butler University in the winter, midway through the basketball season. So congrats to him as he'll look to continue his football career up in Indianapolis at Butler. He squares to bunt here. Gets it down to the third base line. It's a beauty. And he just is beaten by the throw to first. But he advances the runner Hill, who stands at third base now. So Towns is out on the sacrifice bunt. And now we'll have Andrew O'Dwyer, the second of the two O'Dwyer brothers this afternoon. As we mentioned, verbally committed to Coppin State earlier today. Infield in. First pitch is low from Schultz. One and 0 count here on Andrew O'Dwyer. As he calls time, wants to talk to Coach Mascari, the third base coach, for a moment. Looks like he wanted him to repeat the sign. Stands back in the box now. 1-0 count with Hill on third. And again steps out. Mascari looks to be talking to the umpires here.
Believes that Chandler, Chandler, Coach Mascari believed that Chandler had balked in that previous pitch. Couldn't quite hear what the two umpires were responding.
But either way, Hill is at third still. And Schultz gets that one across, and it's 1-1 on O'Dwyer. That curveball is low and inside on O'Dwyer.
He checks and decides not to go.
That pitch looked appealing at first, but as it dove quickly, O'Dwyer held off and decided against swinging. So a good hitter's count here as he grounds one to short. Hill caught in the middle, decides to hold at third base, and O'Dwyer is out on the ground ball to the shortstop. So a missed opportunity there as Hill remains at third. And we'll have the number 9 hitter, Luis Malaway, the second baseman, wearing number 4 for the Irish. Up to bat here with 2 outs and Hill on third. Hill first ball hitting. Grounds one to Schultz. And Malaway dives at first base. And he is out on a very close play. Schultz threw from his knees and was able to retire Malaway. So the Irish go away empty-handed in the bottom of the second inning. Tigers lead 1-0 headed to the top of the third. You're watching Irish baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. Welcome back to the campus of Father Ryan High School as your Irish are taking on the Tigers of Ensworth High School. We'll have Nick Rolfe leading off the top of the third inning.
He's 0 for 1 with a fly out.
Squares to bunt, gets one down the third base line. Can be a tough play, and the throw from Hill is offline, pulling Faulkner off the bag at first.
So is that the 4th bunt we've seen already in this game?
It looks like it. One that's worked for the for the Tigers. We saw one by Towns. That was a sacrifice bunt. And this one from Rolfe gets him on safely. Pickoff attempt by Fogue. And Rolfe dives back under the tag. Now, do they count that as a hit or an error, Donley?
Hit.
Hit, okay. So only one error charged against the Irish today. And that was the throwing error by Fogue in the second inning. Another attempt a lot closer this time to pick off
You know,
Rolfe.
he appeared out from where we were standing.
He definitely did appear out, and if you could hear the crowd behind us, this Father Ryan faithful definitely thought he was out. Bunt attempt there by Schultz. Goes foul past Dwyer.
Prior to this game beginning, I was told by our supervisors that if it does begin to start raining, we unfortunately will have to end the broadcast as this equipment is still very new to us. We don't want to damage it at all, but if it does rain, we'll unfortunately have to close the broadcast. Once the rain showers end, we'll be right back up. If you would like to continue seeing what's going on, go to fatherryan.org, go to the athletics tab, find spring baseball varsity, and it'll give you an iScore account. From there you can see play-by-play what is going on, but you know, just fingers crossed that it does not end up raining.
Pickoff attempt there to Faulkner. Ball goes behind it. Ball gets past Faulkner, races all the way to the wall, and Rolfe advances to second. So with Schultz still batting, Rolfe advances to second, and we'll have an RBI opportunity for Schultz. So Schultz can help his own cause as he's this afternoon's starting pitcher for Ensworth. Could definitely help himself out a little bit if he's able to drive Rolfe home here in the third.
Schultz is also 0 for 1 with the fly out.
He was part of the 2 consecutive pop-outs to shortstop. That grounded to Fogue. He tried to go the short way to third. And Rolfe is safe. And Rolfe looks to be shaken up on the play.
And so does Palmer Hill.
Both of them crouched over. And we'll see Coach Maxwell utilize the courtesy runner strategy as he will bring in a pinch runner for Schultz. It looked like they're calling Rolf
He was
out
called
on the play.
out. He was
out on the play. So a good play there by Fogue to retire the lead runner, Rolf, at third. So Schultz reaches on the fielder's choice. First pitch to Goodwin, the designated hitter this afternoon, is low and a ball. Coleman Goodman, the right-handed designated hitter, against the right-handed Fogue. Fogue tries another pickoff, and Schultz is back standing up. Fogue operating from the stretch. The 1-ball count here. Runner goes, throw by O'Dwyer, and he's safe. As the ball bounced in front of Malavey, he wasn't able to scoop it.
It's about
and apply the
2.5
tag.
feet short.
Luckily, Towns was there to back him up.
Malavey was able to get enough of the ball to prevent it from rolling out into the outfield.
So a man on second here with 1 out. Malavey cheats toward the base, goes back. Lined out to right field. Warren slides, makes the catch, and gets it back into the infield to hold the runner at second. So Goodwin retired on the fly out to Warren in right field. And we'll have Lampley up. Lampley singled in the second inning on a ground ball to Warren. And Fogue will try to eliminate any damage here as he already trails by a run. First pitch in there for strike 1 to Lampley. So Father Ryan trying to sweep this series. Took the first 2 games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Lost yesterday to Hillsborough, but could still sweep the series against Ensworth after winning 3-0 on Tuesday and 9-1 yesterday. One and one count here on Lampley. That's a called strike at the knees, and 1-2 for Fogue. And he'll try to get out of this inning on this next pitch. Fogue sets, he's ready. Ground ball to Towns at short. Hops twice and retires Lampley at first. So the Tigers strand a man at second, and the Irish will be coming up to bat here in the bottom half of the third. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network.
Welcome back to the Jim Carroll Alumni Athletic Complex. My name is Donley Wolf. Unfortunately, as I said prior a couple minutes ago, if it does end up raining, we will have to shut down the broadcast until it does stop. We're going to try and keep the camera and the computer running, but we're going to have all audio off to ensure that none of our equipment shuts down. So, as I said, we'll try to keep the camera and everything else on, just no audio. We'll try and keep you in touch as much as we can throughout the game. It does look like it's going to be a quick rain shower, so hopefully we'll be right back in. So until then, we'll be back.
We're back with Irish baseball for just a brief moment. This is Juan Jose Rodriguez. We're going to shut down the stream here momentarily, set up a tent that will allow us to keep broadcasting, and then we'll be back here in just a few moments. So stay with us, and we'll be back in a few on Irish Baseball, the Behind the Crest Network. And welcome back to a wet but available broadcast here this afternoon as your Irish still trail 1-0 against Ensworth. We're in the bottom of the fourth with Luis Malavey up to bat, and Cameron Towns, after a double, stands on third with 2 outs. Towns got a double out to deep center field, and I believe it was Faulkner who attempted to score but was thrown out at the plate. And John O'Dwyer has just drawn a walk. So Dwyer stands on first, and Towns on third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth, and Malavey, the second baseman, up to bat. That one hits Malavey on the back, so he'll advance to first, and we have bases full of Irish in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs.
I want to answer your question you asked me earlier. Faulkner is 0 for 1. He ground out to the second baseman in the first.
So we'll have the top of the order now and Faulkner up to bat. And that one's driven out to right field and retired as Faulkner on the line drive. The line drive out to Lampley. So that's all for the Irish here as we'll head to the top of the fifth. The Irish trail 1-0 against the Tigers, looking to sweep. You're watching Irish baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. Welcome back to Father Ryan High School on the Jim Carroll Alumni Athletic Fields. And we'll have Christensen, the 9th batter for Ensworth, up here. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, and he'll lead off the 5th for Ensworth. 1 run on, I believe, 4 hits, you said, Donnelly, for Ensworth?
Yes.
4 hits for Ensworth, the 1 run and 1 fielding error for Father Ryan, and 1 error for Ensworth, as Father Ryan's been held scoreless.
The Irish have had 6 hits and have been counted for 2 errors, but unfortunately have been still kept scoreless.
So up now we'll have the top of the order, and Rolfe flew out to short in the 1st inning, single to first
Off a bunt.
3rd. A bunt single that Fogue threw late to first, allowing Rolfe to reach base. Grounded sharply foul to 3rd base. Ball got past Palmer Hill, but it was on the foul side of the bag. So 0-2 here on Rolfe, with 1 gone in the top of the 5th. So during our rain delay, the game was not delayed at all, but we were delayed slightly. We brought over a tent, which has allowed us to continue the broadcast during these inclement conditions. Next pitch is inside to Rolfe, 1-2 on the fastball. Fogue working quickly out of the windup. That one's fouled off in front of home plate to the right.
Yeah, what happened to
So 1-2 here, still on Rolfe. Fogue looks in for the sign. He's ready. Kicks and fires. Rolfe lifts one high out to left center field. Charging was Simpson. and O'Dwyer. Towns tried to dive back for it, and it fell in between all three. So Rolfe reaches first base safely. And up now will be Schultz. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third inning. Where's number 3 here for Ensworth?
And he flied out in the first.
And also the starting pitcher in this afternoon's ball game. So busy afternoon for Schultz.
Called strike 1 on Schultz. Keegan's pitch count is now at 55. He's had 43 strikes and 12 balls.
He started out with 6 consecutive strikes and only needed 6 pitches to get out of the first inning. So a good overall day for Fogue, allowing just the 1 run. And hopefully the Irish bats will come alive here in the back half of the game and give Keegan the win that he deserves.
No, they go 7.
1-1 count here on Schultz. Pickoff attempt to try to get Rolfe at first, and he dives back under the tag. Fogue ready. Runner goes. O'Dwyer throws down to second. And Rolfe slides in under the tag of Malave. Crowd thought he was out.
You know, I think that was a foul ball off of Schultz's bat.
It might have been.
I felt like I sort of heard a tip. So
either way, O'Dwyer did well to corral that and still managed a throw. So 1-2 here on Schultz. Rolfe stands at second after the steal. And Schultz swings and misses for the second out of the inning. Schultz is frustrated with himself, thought he chased the high one. So 2 gone here in the 5th. And we will have Goodwin, the designated hitter this afternoon, up to bat. Goodwin, the big right-handed hitter, wears number 12, designated hitting. First pitch into him from Fogue is a curveball low and outside. And that's ball 1. Fogue set, ready. Up and in there for ball 2 on Goodwin. So we might see Goodwin take this next pitch, see if Fogue can get one across before he decides to swing. Fogue at the belt, he's ready. And gets that one right down the middle for strike 1. 2-1 count here on Goodwin with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Ensworth leads 1-0 against Father Ryan. Father Ryan looking to sweep Ensworth after claiming the first 2 games of the series, 3-0 and 9-1. As Goodwin chases that one up and away, 2-2 here. The Irish lost to Goodpasture, Hillsborough yesterday afternoon. But that obviously is not part of this Ensworth series. That was just a 1-game set. That one's drilled out to left field by Goodwin. Chasing it is Simpson. That one will roll all the way to the wall. And Goodwin will reach second standing without a throw as Rolfe scores, making it 2-0 Ensworth leading on that long double by Goodwin. I believe that hit the wall on 1 bounce. 1 or 2 bounces.
2 bounced into the wall.
So Goodwin will stand on second after that RBI double. And we'll have Lampley up with 2 away in the 5th. Try to continue this rally for Ensworth. Oh, 0-1 count here on Lampley after he fouls that one off behind first base. Inside called a strike. Got the inside corner to Fogue. So 0-2 here on Lampley as Fogue will try to limit the damage to only a run. Fogue ready at the belt. Kicks and fires. That's a called strike 3 by Fogue on Lampley. So Fogue retires Lampley, stranding Goodwin on second. But the Tigers do not go away empty-handed as they double their lead on that double by Goodwin out to deep left field. 2-0, Ensworth leads. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network.
So the coach finally answered her.
Welcome back to Father Ryan Baseball. Sage Warren steps in. 0-1 count here on him, as the first one is a called strike. Ball laced out to right center field. Tracking that is Lampley, and he gets it for the first out. So Warren retired on that drive out to right field. And up now will be O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer singled to left field in the first inning. O'Dwyer and Andrew and his brother John up to bat now. Both of them verbally committed to Coppin State University up in Baltimore, Maryland earlier this morning. So congratulations to them as they'll continue their athletic careers as a package deal at the next level. Ball and a strike to O'Dwyer as he takes that one. Caught the outside corner. On deck is Trey Ramsey, the designated hitter, batting left-handed against the right-handed Schultz. Ball to O'Dwyer, that one's down and away. As Schultz looks in for the sign, operating from the windup. High grounder to third. And O'Dwyer's retired 5-3. As Maxwell fires over to Allen at first base for the second out of the inning. So Trey Ramsey up now, reached on an error by the shortstop in the first inning, but was left there as Simpson could not get him home. Trey watches that first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Schultz quickly back in there. Gets ready and misses low and outside for ball one, evening up the count at 1 apiece. Schultz kicks and fires. Ball lifted high in the air, out to center field. Calling it is Rolfe, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So the Tigers get a 1-2-3 inning here. And we'll head to the top of the 6th with Ensworth leading 2-0. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. in the top of the 6th from Father Ryan. The Irish trail 2-0. And we will have Groninger, the left fielder, batting for Ensworth.
He's over 2 on the night. He's had a fielder's choice and a ground out.
As he watches strike 1 from Fogue. Fogue in his 6th inning of work. Grounded sharply up the middle. Towns lets that go into center field for a base hit. And O'Dwyer will get that one back into second base. Bullpen doesn't seem to be active for Father Ryan. So this looks like it'll be Fogue's game for a while. We've seen Fogue go deep into a few games. We saw him go deep into the Montgomery Bell Academy game early in the season. And I believe against Brentwood Academy he did as well. Up now is Colin Hopkins, the catcher for Ensworth. Squares around to bunt. Popped up behind the mound. Fogue slipped on the wet mound. Could not make a play on it. Palmer Hill tried to dive for it and could not come up with it. So that falls in between Hill and Fogue. And Hopkins reaches. And we will see Coach Jason Maxwell insert a courtesy runner for Hopkins. As we mentioned early on, coaches can elect to use a courtesy runner for a pitcher and catcher, which is essentially a pinch runner without having to remove the pitcher or catcher from the game, as is typically the case in Major League Baseball. So Hopkins reaches on that bunt single. And Harrison Allen bunts, fielded by O'Dwyer. And he retires Allen at first, but Allen's sacrifice bunt moves up the runners. So we'll have Groninger at third here with 1 out, and Maxwell up to bat for Ensworth. Fogue looks in, takes a long look at his catcher O'Dwyer. Now sets, he's ready. Stretch and the pitch. Grounded to Hill at first. Looked off the runner. Hill fires to first base, gets Maxwell at first. But Groninger scores on the fielder's choice. Hill initially looked off Groninger, didn't think he would run. Threw to first base, and then Groninger did proceed to run home and was able to score the 3rd run of the game for Ensworth. So 2 consecutive sacrifice bunts here. Allen's advancing the runners to second and third, and Maxwell's scoring Groninger from third. So 2 gone here in the 6th inning. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Christensen. As Fogue looks in, 1-0 count, and that one misses outside. Excuse me, called a strike. Late call there by the umpire, so 1-1. As Fogue will try to escape this inning with only 1 run given up. Ball lifted foul to our right. Goes over the net and is out of play.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, pitch hitting is number 16, Tanner Antonucci, I think. Never heard of that name before.
We mentioned we've seen a couple of these names either from Surge or from football and basketball. So that one's a new face to us.
If you ask me again, I'm gonna we're not gonna do it.
2-2 count here on Antonucci. Ensworth leading 3-0. Grounded back up the middle. That'll score. That'll score number 18, the pinch runner for Hopkins. And it's 4-0 now. Ensworth leading. with Rolf coming back up here to bat for the Tigers. Still no one warming up in the bullpen, so Fogue looks like he'll have at least this inning, if not more. Might be trying to rest the bullpen for the rest of the week. So Antonucci on first, and Rolf fouls the first one back to the net. 0-1 count here.
Better tighten up. Boss is here.
Fogue looks in for the sign. 0-1 count. Rolf fouls that one off his ankle. Tries to walk it off behind the batter's box. And an 0-2 count here as Fogue will try to get out of this inning without allowing any more damage. Fogue takes a long look into Dwyer, and he's ready. The kick and the pitch. Rolf grounds that one foul.
Hits it twice.
I thought he bounced it off his helmet.
Ball fouled, hits the plate, bounces back up, and hits his bat again.
So count remains 0-2 here on Rolf. Singled back in the third inning. Flew out in the first. Ball lined off of Fogue's glove, but right to Malavey, and he gets it over to Faulkner for the third out of the inning. Tigers scored 2 runs in the top of the 6th and now lead 4-0. Irish come up to bat in the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching Irish baseball on the Behind the Crest Sports Network. And we're back with Irish baseball on the Behind the Crest Sports Network. This is Juan Jose Rodriguez alongside Donley Wolf. We'll have Kirby Simpson leading off the bottom half of the 6th. Initially squares to bunt, pulls back as that one was low and inside for ball 1 on Simpson. Schultz still in the game here for Ensworth.
Ball tipped and flies just above our camera.
I don't know if you were able to see that, but that net was started to shake a little bit. Off the bat of Simpson. That ball, thankfully for the net, stopped it. And that one is low and outside to Simpson. 2-1 count here on the leadoff hitter for Father Ryan in the bottom half of the 6th. Fastball high and outside, misses away. 3-1 count here, and Simpson will try to make something happen. And as he leads off, we'll have Hill and Towns to follow him. And that one's low, so Simpson draws a walk. And we'll have Palmer Hill, the third baseman for Father Ryan, up to bat. So Simpson, the left fielder, draws the walk. Hill, the third baseman, up here against the righty Schultz. Call strike one to Hill. Hill doubled to right field in the second inning. 0-1 count here as he'll try to advance Simpson. Pickoff attempt, Simpson dives back. And he's safe as he gets under the tag. Towns to follow Hill.
Check swing there.
Hill, yeah, swinging bunt, check swing. Gets Simpson over to second. And that was Allen who makes the play unassisted. So one out here in the bottom half of the sixth for Father Ryan. Towns the shortstop. Towns shortstop batting seventh. Looking to drive in Simpson from second. Ball laced out to right field to the right of the championship banner. Simpson tags at second and retreats. Thought about going, but the throw is quickly back into the infield to hold Simpson at second. So Towns unable to do anything to advance Simpson. And with two gone, Andrew Dwyer will come up and try to cut into this deficit that Ensworth has built, into the lead that Ensworth has built. Dwyer watches the first pitch from Schultz.
Looks like a slider to me.
Had some movement, more than a fastball, but not as much as the curveball we've seen
Started
from
on
him.
the right side of the plate, and from where we're sitting, it looks like it did on the left.
Same pitch there,
Same
called a
pitch.
strike again.
That one didn't move quite as much.
But in the scorebook, all you see is the strike, not how much it moved. So Schultz looks in, 0-2 count with two gone, and Simpson on second. Ball missed low. Hopkins blocks it, prevents it from reaching the fence.
And that's Schultz's 65th total pitch. He's had 42 called strikes and 23 called balls.
So Schultz and Fogue both working deep into this game. Doesn't look like either side's bullpen is active. That one misses outside to O'Dwyer, evening up the count at 2 apiece. So 2-2 here on O'Dwyer. If he reaches, Malavey will be at bat next. Schultz kicks and fires. Ball misses low and outside again. So full count here on O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer committed to Coppin State verbally earlier this morning. So congratulations to him and his brother, John. That one misses outside. Hopkins throws down to second to try to pick off Simpson. Don't see that too often on a walk. So Dwyer reaches base safely. And we'll have first and second with Malavey.
Coach Mascari is going to make a lineup change.
Looks like Malavey retreating back to the dugout.
And comes, I believe that's Curtis
Turnmeyer.
And it is.
And it does look to be Turnmeyer. The left-handed hitting Turnmeyer against the right-handed throwing Schultz. May see a double switch here, the reason Mascari talking to the umpire. You might see some defensive changes come the top half of the seventh, and we'll keep you updated on those should anything happen. Probably wouldn't see Turnmeyer playing second base for Malavey, so we'll see how Mascari decides to approach this one. First pitch from Schultz to Turnmeyer, low and outside, ball one. So Dwyer on first, Simpson at second with two gone. Irish trail 4-0 in the bottom of the sixth, with Turnmeyer pinch hitting for Malavey. Ball driven out to
It's
center field.
ripped
That'll be a
down to
base
center.
hit. Mascari holds Simpson at third as that throw was quickly got retreated back into the infield. But we have bases loaded for Father Ryan. And it'll be up to the sophomore, Matt Faulkner, to try to bring in one or more Irish runners.
So they switched Turnmeyer with Malavey. So Malavey on first base now.
So Malavey pinch running for Turnmeyer. Interesting call
So
there
it's a pinch for a pinch.
for the pinch. First pitch to Faulkner is a strike, caught the inside corner at the shoulders. Schultz already set, ready for this next pitch. Looks into Hopkins for the sign. He likes it. Faulkner drives one out past shortstop. That'll score one, maybe two. As O'Dwyer races in from second. And it's quickly 4-2 Ensworth. As Faulkner comes through with a two-run single. Faulkner getting a high five from first base coach Jay Shepard. Malavey advances to second. And now we'll have Sage Warren, the right fielder, looking to drive in two more. Warren, a righty-righty matchup against Schultz. As this dugout for Father Ryan has quickly come to life. First two runs of the game being scored here in this inning. And you can tell the Irish are excited. Warren takes strike one. Schultz looks in for the sign. Kicks and fires. Swings and misses does Warren. Hopkins throws on to first, trying to pick off Faulkner. Faulkner dives back just under the tag.
And during that pickoff, Malavey hustles over to third base.
So good heads-up base running by Malavey. Took advantage of all the attention being paid to Faulkner. So Schultz to Malavey, 0-2 count here. Irish trail 4-2. And Schultz fakes a throw over to third and steps off to fake a throw back to first. So nothing doing on that pickoff. And first and third here for the Irish with Warren down in the count 0-2. Pitch from Schultz is low. Low and inside on the curveball. Good eye by Warren. So 1-2 count here on the Irish right fielder, batting second in the order, as he looks to drive in a couple more runs and potentially tie this game up. Schultz is ready. Ground ball by Warren into left field. That's a base hit. Scoring is Malavey. And it's 4-3 as Malavey gets high fives from the dugout. The dugout empties to greet Malavey scoring from third. And we may see a pitching change coming in here for Ensworth, and we will. Looks like it'll be Groninger coming in to replace Schultz. So Groninger will come in from left field to pitch. And we may see just a straight up switch as Schultz may go into left field.
And one I would just like to point out that their last game against Ensworth, I was talking with the head Ensworth baseball manager, and I realized that he's not wearing baseball cleats. He's actually wearing Nike golf shoes, the exact same brand and color that I have.
Interesting observation.
You know, I just have that golfer's eye.
Did you ask him his handicap?
That's something a lot of people don't like to give out.
Yeah, having played with you a few times, I've learned quickly that anything golf related you get very, very stern about very quickly. So disclaimer, any of you ever playing golf with Donley Wolf, get ready because it's going to be an adventure. So after that single by Warren, we will have the third batter for the Irish, third in the order, John O'Dwyer, the catcher. O'Dwyer, the recent commit to Coppin State. So Warren at first, Faulkner at second. Ball driven out over first base by O'Dwyer. That'll score Faulkner as he races home. And this game is tied at Father Ryan as Faulkner scores the game-tying run.
So a good slice shot there by O'Dwyer to score the tying run for the Irish.
And O'Dwyer will be lifted for a courtesy runner. Will be Brendan Granger, one of the second basemen who usually splits time with Malavey at second base. So Faulkner scores. Warren will be at third. And Granger at second after the double by O'Dwyer. Ramsey, the cleanup hitter.
He's 0 for 3. Got to base on an error. He ground out and flew out.
Would love to change that here. As it's 4-4, Irish have scored 4 runs in the 6th inning. And
he wants to hit one.
And Ramsey took that one up and away for a look to be a strike. Ramsey definitely wants to get into this one. Ball low and outside to Ramsey. Blocked by Hopkins as it rolled out in front of the plate. So 1-2 here on Ramsey. Looking to drive in a couple more runs to continue this Irish rally. This all started with a walk to Kirby Simpson. And Ramsey chases that one up and away for strike 3.
I'm sure he'd like to get that swing back.
That's definitely one he'd like to forget. However, the Irish score 4 runs in the inning to tie this game at 4, headed to the 7th inning, the final inning of regulation. Now, we might see a couple extra innings here. Now that we've progressed later into spring, it's getting dark later, and we might be able to squeeze in a couple extra innings should the need arise. But as we stand right now, it's 4 apiece, headed to the top of the 7th. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. Top of the 7th inning here from Father Ryan. We'll have Schultz up to bat.
The new pitcher is Towns.
Cameron Towns, the closer for Father Ryan, often referred to as the emergency reliever for Coach Mascari. And he starts out Schultz with a 2-0 count. Ball taken high by Schultz.
Just above the middle digit of the 3.
Towns a little quick pitch on that delivery. He's barely allowing Schultz any time to get set in the box. As soon as he puts his hand down from calling time, Towns is ready to fire. That quick pitch strategy ultimately comes back to haunt him, and Schultz draws the 5-pitch walk. So we'll have Goodwin up with Schultz at first. Goodwin, the designated hitter in this afternoon's ball game. That one fouled off the mask of the umpire at home plate. So he'll take a moment and
And
settle
that's why
himself.
they wear the mask.
Yeah, thankfully, that mask was definitely a protective
I
measure.
mean, that hit right in between the two bars.
Towns set, 0-1 count, and a pickoff move to first as he just lobs it over to Faulkner. So defensively, Malavey remains in the game at second, was pinch hit for by Turnmeyer, but Malavey ran for Turnmeyer after Turnmeyer reached base. So it doesn't appear to be any defensive changes. 0-2 here on Goodwin as Towns gets that one in. Ball taken outside, 1-2.
And Juan, the rest of the defensive field is still the same.
So no changes by Coach Mascari. Everything remaining constant with the exception of the pitcher. So a straight 1-for-1 swap as Foe goes to short and Towns comes into pitch. Ball grounded right up the middle off the pitcher's mound. That'll be a base hit into center field. As O'Dwyer gets that one back in, and we will have Lampley up now with runners at first and second. Schultz stands at second after the walk, and Goodwin, the single to center, stands at first. O'Dwyer gives his signs to the infield. With the base runners at first and second, Hill plays in on the grass at third, as does Faulkner at first. Towns and Malavey at double play depth up the middle. Lampley squares to bunt, fouls it back to the screen to our right. 0-1 count here on Lampley. As the right-handed Towns against the right-handed Lampley is the matchup. Towns set. Lampley squares again.
Tipped again.
I don't know that it was tipped. I don't think he tipped it at all. Either way, ball bounces out of O'Dwyer's glove. Runners hold at their respective bases. So 0-2 count here on Lampley. Ball game tied at 4. In the top of the 7th inning as Lampley takes that one just outside.
As O'Dwyer looks to see where his last cleat mark was because he thought that was a strike.
That definitely looked like it had caught the corner. If you could hear the Irish faithful behind us, they definitely thought it was a strike as well. Ball grounded past Towns up the middle. Could be 2. Fogue gets it to Malavey for 1. As they retire Goodwin at second. Schultz advances to third. And Lampley reaches on the fielder's choice. 6-4.
And the current pitcher for the Ensworth, Sam Groninger, is on deck for the Tigers. Actually, I think he's going to be up next.
Groninger is up to bat now.
Up
Groninger up to bat now. Will be followed by Hopkins, the catcher. Towns looks in for the sign. We'll see what he gives to Groninger. As that one's driven out to center field straight away. Chasing that is O'Dwyer. And Schultz will score the go-ahead run for Ensworth on the sacrifice fly. So 5-4, Ensworth leads once again with 2 outs here. And we will have Hopkins as the next batter. So Towns against Hopkins will be the matchup here. Tigers lead 5-4 in the top half of the 7th, and 2 outs with Hopkins up to bat.
Hopkins 2 for 3.
lifts that one, first ball hitting out to Fogue at short. Fogue captures that one and will retire the side for Ensworth. Ensworth grabs one, takes back the lead. So the Irish will need to score one here in the bottom half of the seventh to keep this game alive. Score two, and they win. Send one, score one, and we'll send this game into extra innings from the Jim Carroll Alumni Athletic Fields here on the campus of Father Ryan High School. We'll be back in a moment for the bottom half of the seventh. You're watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. Welcome back to the campus of Father Ryan High School as your Irish trail Ensworth 5-4 in the bottom half of the seventh inning. For the Irish, we'll have Simpson, Hill, and Towns trying to tie this game up. And Simpson does that. Will start that rally. Gets a line drive to right field. Misplayed by the right fielder, Lampley. And he will take second on that error. So Simpson standing at second, leading off the inning. And to follow, we will have Palmer Hill. Palmer playing third base tonight for the Irish. And we'll bat here with Simpson standing on second.
Hill had a double earlier in the game.
Advanced to third, but could not score. Hill squares to bunt. Gets it down. Simpson advances to third on the throw. He's safe under the tag. That was a great bunt by Hill, deadening the ball right on contact.
And poor choice by Maxwell. Didn't come back to the bag. He stayed right where he was to try to go get the bunt. He was a good 4 feet short of the base.
Maxwell charged initially, could not retreat in time to the bag, as you mentioned. That ball maybe rolled 6 feet off the bat, but the speedy Simpson, a multi-sport athlete also wrestling in the winter, was able to dart from second to third. And now is the tying run just one base away, and we'll have Towns, the relief pitcher, coming in with runners at the corners. That one's driven to left field. That'll be a base hit for Towns. Simpson will score. And Towns reaches second with Hill sliding into third head first. That was a laser beam by Towns right past the third baseman, Maxwell. So Towns with the RBI double to left, scoring Simpson. And all of a sudden, things are looking great for the Irish, as we'll have Andrew O'Dwyer, the center fielder tonight, with runners at second and third and no one out. And O'Dwyer jogs over to Coach Mascari, and they'll have a chat. Granger will come in to the game to run for Hill.
Hill, who was hurt earlier in the game when he got into a little skirmish.
I believe Rolf slid into him at third. And both Rolf and Hill were shaken up on the play. So Granger will come on to run for him. And O'Dwyer, with no outs here and runners on second and third, could be the hero here for the Irish. Curveball here.
Pretty pitch there by Groninger.
Curveball from Groninger.
Andrews 0 for 1. He's ground out and had 2 walks. I'm sure he'd like to get a positive number on there.
As that one misses up and away, evening up the count at 1-1.
Positive at bat on there.
Runners to the second and third for the Irish. All we need is a fly ball to the outfield. O'Dwyer grounds one foul right at the Ensworth dugout at third base. So 1-2 count here on O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer will be followed by Malave if he's not able to drive the run in. But of course, we at Father Ryan are hoping he can do just that. On a day that he and his brother committed verbally to Coppin State, we'd like to see him be the hero and drive in this game-winning run.
That pitch gets away from Groninger.
So 2-2 count here on O'Dwyer. Lines one out to left field, and that'll be it. Game-winning run scored by Granger, and O'Dwyer being mobbed as he rounds first base. O'Dwyer the hero in tonight's game as the Irish win 6-5 over Ensworth and claim the sweep.
Good job. Do you have those socks in school today?
Yeah.
Pick up your detention.
So Irish get a big win here against Ensworth. Win
Go
6-5.
3-0 in the series.
So a great week for the Irish as they pick up some key regional victories as they look toward the end of the season after next weekend. They'll have one more game here, which will be senior night, Thursday afternoon at 4:30 against Goodpasture. And then we'll travel to Chattanooga for a 3-game series Friday to Sunday. Friday with a doubleheader Saturday against Macaulay. And with that, they will close out the regular season and await their fate for the region tournament. So Irish win 6-5 here against Ensworth. On the game-winning hit by O'Dwyer. Ensworth with 5 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Father Ryan with 6 runs, 13 hits, and 2 errors. And of course, none bigger than that single by O'Dwyer to score the game-winning run.
And he's still smiling as he comes to clear off home plate. So what a day for the O'Dwyer brothers as they both verbally commit to Coppin State, and then they win a game off of a walk-off.
So a great, absolutely great environment here at Father Ryan as the O'Dwyers are the hero. Granger scores the game-winning run. Let's take a quick look at the box score. Faulkner with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Sage Warren with 1 hit and an RBI. John O'Dwyer 3 hits and an RBI. Simpson 2 hits. Cameron Towns 2 hits and an RBI. Andrew O'Dwyer a hit and an RBI. None bigger than this game. In fact, the game winner right here. And Turnmeyer collects a base hit, as does Palmer Hill. So, Donnelly, we have 4 games left in the regular season. The 1 against Goodpasture on senior night, plus the 3 against Macaulay. What do you think is the outlook for the Irish in the rest of the season as we move forward?
Well, I mean, they're pretty hot right now. We've got to keep the bats swinging. And then hopefully Keegan Folk and the O'Dwyer, the dynamic duo, along with Towns and Trey Ramsey, will be able to keep it hot on the pitching mound as well. They got a big matchup against Macaulay, and then we're coming back for the state tournament. Unfortunately, we won't be able to broadcast in video. If, in fact, they do make it to the state tournament, we'll be doing an audio-only broadcast.
Due to TSSAA regulations.
But either way, it's been a great day to be Irish. 2 seniors signed to continue their collegiate career. One on the West Coast, UC Santa Cruz. One on the East Coast, the United States Naval Academy. If you'd like to read more about this Irish baseball team and what they've had to overcome throughout the year, please head over to our Behind the Crest blog. Go to fatheriron.org, find the quick links, go to athletics. It'll say Behind the Crest, click it. It'll be our latest article written by
Grace
Grace White.
a senior on the Moina, the newspaper here at Father Ryan, published a midseason report of the baseball team, and some great insight there that she has collected from the coaches and the players, as the Irish faithful heading home happy after that game-winning single by O'Dwyer, the day that they verbally commit to Coppin State. So a great day for the O'Dwyer family and a great day for Father Ryan baseball. So Donnelly signing off here from Father Ryan one final time. We will have one more game against Goodpasture and 3 more against Macaulay. So from Father Ryan, this is Juan Jose Rodriguez and Donnelly Wolf. The Irish win 6-5 here on a game-winning single by Andrew O'Dwyer. Thank you for watching Irish Baseball on the Behind the Crest Network. Have a great weekend, everybody.